concert at the inn, which I can't remember the name for. No, not Mint. No. During which Augrael snuck around to figure out that there were indeed people being held in a larder. He came back, gave the signal, and things turned into a big brawl, which was thankfully in 2 stages, since we had to deal with the people in the room only, minus the band, since Lucca managed to sweet talk them. And then the proprietor came back and was dealt with too. And I think that's where we left. I don't remember if we did something after that.
Well, we had one dangling thread that I was thinking you might be picking up this time, but of course it's your choice. Do you remember what that was?
I think we wanted to check the creature. Well, that's why we went into the tavern in the first place. There was the creature in the room right next to it, the one that's moaning or something like that.
Yeah, there was something else. Like someone mentioned the motley man.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Yes,
not directly.
one of the
Yeah,
prisoners. Yeah, he mentioned the man with the squares or something like that.
yeah, the man in the colorful rags, I believe, is what
Okay.
man in colored rags who takes hands.
Who takes hands? Yes.
Hmm. And some of you were uncomfortably reminded about how Doriana was talking about the motley man, and even though you don't have any concrete connection between those two, it just left you with this eerie feeling that maybe there is one.
And
Yeah.
didn't the person that mentioned him lack an arm?
A hand, yes,
I
exactly.
think it was the skulk, right?
It was the skulk with a withered hand.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
All right. Yeah, thanks for the summary. Um, we are basically we can drop right back in. Let me just activate the scene here. The prisoners have been freed and either run off on their own or with assistance, like the skulk and the deep gnome, I believe. No, the deep dwarf. I'm sorry, I can't keep
I
them.
think it was a deep no.
Deep gnome, yes, you're right. The deep gnome Glastrumdur has helped the skulk Jedzili, who seemed very much confused and just muttering to herself. But the gnome promised to get her out of here and back down below, or wherever they came from. And yeah, you find yourself back in the tavern that is now lying mostly in shambles, with lots of bodies around. The Morlocks have all fled except for the one that was struck down by the bouncer. Um, but yeah, you came out of this fight mostly okay. So what do you want to do?
How mostly okay am I?
Well, since things are calm right now, Ottardo will take 1 minute to uh, pull out his repair kit and try to pound out his shield into shape.
All right, and slams it down on one of the tables for as a, as a makeshift workbench.
Oh no.
Oh, what does that mean when you're trying to repair?
Let me double check. Crit failure. You deal 2d6 damage to the item.
Hmm.
Apply the item's hardness. Okay, well that shouldn't be too bad.
Ottardo, what are you doing?
Well, I've done this all the time. Well, why? Hmm. It must be the nerves.
Yeah, definitely. I think at this point, while we're taking a break, someone will wander behind the counter and help herself with some liquid courage.
Gonna investigate all the back rooms he didn't see before.
I don't remember if we went back to the owner's office.
I think we did.
That is the moldy room. Wait, it's the moldy room. I remember now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that you would not just
All right.
2 seconds after that.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it too. It all comes back to me.
It's like, why is this door shut? Uh, look, is there any chance that there's anything of value in the moldy room?
Well, there's a possibility, but do we want to risk it?
Um,
I mean, I suppose not.
Lucca doesn't need to breathe.
I suppose. Well, technically, I only get a slight bonus to diseases and poisons. Don't ask how that works. That's not the question. Yes, I suppose. I mean, look, are we up for going further today, or should we go check in on Shadow Malice and see how they're making on at the Crooksnook?
Well, my spells are almost drained. I think. we- yeah, probably. Maybe we should check on the mayor as well, see how they're doing. What they're doing.
I'm fine with either.
What else did we even do today? I feel like all we did was fight people here. Am I missing something?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We didn't even. This the hydras for yesterday, if I remember correctly. So, uh, it feels silly to go back after all this, but I suppose it was a bit of a brawl. My spells are somewhat exhausted as well. I do really, really want to kill that horrible, horrible thing crawling around in the room west of here, but I'm not entirely sure I'm up for it today.
And not in the shape I'm right now, so unless a single magic missile will solve the problems, which probably won't.
Yeah, so sounds as if we should retreat.
Yeah.
Very well. You think you could get that teleporter going, Suma, so that we can get out of
Well,
here?
give me an hour, and I think we'll have it.
Okay, you want to awaken that portal?
Yes, I think.
Okay. So, yes,
I
as
will
you
do my
said.
best to assist.
All right, casting time is 1 hour, and we will need. Hang on, what level are we on? Lazy.
Doesn't say anything about the main and secondary casters.
Yes, this is different from what we did before, isn't it?
What are you looking at?
The thing that's in the chat. Like I
Oh,
expected
okay.
to have which skills to use for the primary and secondary checks.
Right. But that's generally a ritual rule, so I think that's not repeated in the ritual itself.
I think each ritual has different skills that you can use. It's like some would
Mm,
require Arcana for primary and whatever for secondary, and you know.
Right. Okay, let me see how this works. Various benefit for portals. The portal on first level requires a DC 15 check. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, so the DC will be 28, and now the question is, so you're its primary caster or other assisting you're a secondary caster. You must know the ritual, and the ritual spell rank can be no higher than half your level rounded up. I think that works. You must also have the required proficiency rank in the skill used for the ritual's primary check. And as the primary caster, you must attempt the skill to determine the ritual's effect. Primary skill check determines the tradition. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
On
Check.
Nephis, it says it's Arcana or Occultism.
And Souma is only trained in occult.
Where did you see that? It's Arcana or Occultism?
On Archives of Nephis.
Yeah, right, but where?
Oh, it's the at the top, just under cast 1 hour. It says primary check, Arcana or Occultism.
Oh, in the description of the Awakened Portal
Yeah,
spell or ritual, you mean? Okay.
the ritual. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, so let's see who wants to do the primary check. That would be Soma, I assume.
Well, yeah, she learned the ritual, so both have to.
Okay, then let's see that roll. Okay, and who wanted to do a secondary check? Nobody?
Sure.
Yeah, I can make one. Arcana, right, was an option.
Arcana is an option, yes. Oh, no, actually, it has to be the one that was used for the primary check. So since Soma uses occultism, the secondary has to be occultism too. Occultism.
So it has to be occultism? Okay.
Yep.
I try.
Mhm. And so what was it again with the secondary check? Just needs to beat. I mean, it doesn't make sense for it to be the same DC, does it?
No,
But
secondaries I think are easier than the primary, but that
doesn't
would
need
be
a
in the
minimum
general
level.
rules.
Secondary caster's entry indicates minimum number of secondary. DC, where's the DC? Is it mentioned here? No, it's not. Doesn't say it anywhere in the description. Secondary checks often with the standard DC for level twice the ritual's spell rank. Okay. And since it doesn't mention that explicitly in the description, I'll assume that that's the right way to go. Did it say twice the spell rank?
Apparently, would be 6.
Which is the same DC then. That none of this really makes whole lot of sense to me. Okay, but then that's let's see, fail.
It isn't.
standard DC for a level. Oh, for a level twice the ritual spell rank. Okay, so it's not the DC for twice the spell ranks, but
Yeah.
it's for a level of twice. So that lowers it to 22. Okay, which makes this a successful secondary check, which means no bonus or penalty.
I still don't know why I would actually even contribute a secondary check.
Yeah, the risk of hurting it is, I mean, unless the ritual explicitly calls for it, the need of a secondary check, it feels like why would you ever do that?
Yeah,
Anyway,
Okay, well, I neither helped nor hurt. I'll be right back.
yes, and the ritual altogether was a failure. You fail to activate the portal, and magical backlash leaves you stupefied for 24 hours.
But it doesn't say that I can't do it again, right?
That's right.
I just get the penalty to this very check again. But and the ritual is not cast a spell, right? So technically, I don't have to make a concentration save.
No, it's I don't think it is casting a ritual. It's a downtime activity.
although you do take a minus to the skill because of stupefied.
Let's see, maybe I can find a way to drag myself into normalcy again. Still, I have Quicksilver mutagen. Do it. Probably doesn't do it.
Oh God, Souma, is your brain okay?
What?
I heard your brain got hurt.
For a brief moment, I have connected to the stars. Do you see? I mean, the stars are still dancing in my eyes.
I'm sure
I feel I'm one with the cosmos. The star caravan is going through my brain. Oh yeah.
not going to open the portal.
Wait, I'm fine. I'll do it again. Don't panic.
Oh, good. I'm not helping this time.
Okay. I don't have anything to actually help with this. I will have to just brute force it. And my cooperative blade also doesn't help with anything. Maybe I could give it to Lucca and he will somehow get the bonus to +2 for checks to 8.
What is that?
I mean, maybe I could give cooperative blade to Lucca for him to help me better.
There's very little bonus or very little chance for Lucca to give you an actual bonus.
We'll have to critically succeed, and I don't.
Yeah.
I think the odds of that are very slim. You're better off just doing it yourself.
Okay.
Even with your brain damage.
Well, there's another failure, but not a critical failure.
Am I stupefied too now?
No, though I don't believe those things stack.
But I mean, every time I try to do it, it's an hour. But by this point, we probably would have been on the surface already, not normally.
Well, now it hardly seems like it would have made sense for us to spend 2 hours down here if you didn't at least give it a third try.
Yeah, I think someone will walk, walk out a little bit back to the to the bar. Take a swig of something in there. Okay.
Wait
Okay,
a second.
let's.
Is your occultism check worse than mine? Why aren't I just doing this? Can anyone perform the ritual?
Well, I think you're supposed to learn it.
Oh, I guess that's why. Okay.
But yes, my occultism is not very bad, and now it is impaired. Not from alcohol.
Is there really a way to learn rituals, or is it just if you have the paper that says how to do it, it's fine?
Yeah, I don't think that there's. I mean, learning rituals just says that it doesn't count against any of your spell repertoire or spells. Rituals are never common, blah blah blah, but it doesn't say anything about needing necessarily spending time or. You must
Doesn't say
know
in
the
in the
ritual.
item. Well, if I transfer this to Lucca, maybe. Yeah.
Look, Suma, you've had a really good go at it. You tried your best. But maybe I can do better than you.
Well, I sincerely doubt it. I'm an expert after all. Well, I'm trained in it.
So it's either Arcana or occultism.
Yep.
All right. Everybody stand back. I know what I'm doing.
And you nail the check.
Someone
So
cracks open the door back. Are you alive?
just alive.
He's gone. He's gone completely. He already used the teleporter.
Like, am I? Oh my god, Lucca is gone! She turns
But you see this. You see the silver that fills the faded runes carved in the stone walls, and it's no longer dull, but it is sparkling and crackling with the activated magical energy. But no Lucca.
Where is he?
I don't know. Maybe he smeared himself across the dimensions because he failed. She runs into the room, starts turning over the barrels to see if there are any remains of Lucca in there. Like, see, nothing. He's gone.
So Ottardo does not see Lucca?
No.
Lucca flashes back into existence. Probably half of his bones magically fused with Suma or something terrible.
And he's just like, "Oh, it's taking you so long."
Oh my god, you were gone. What have you seen?
I've been waiting for a half hour. I
Where?
finished the ritual early.
But so we can use it now?
Yes, of course you could use it. See?
And he disappears.
I think Ottardo has never been around when we've used one so far. Or rather, I wasn't around.
Someone comes down a little bit and walks into the portal.
Yep. And as you walk into the center of the room, you are winked out of existence for a brief moment, and then reappear in the Nexus chamber on the second level, from where it is a much shorter walk up to the surface. First of all, that's 30 XP for everyone for successfully activating another portal. And then we're heading back to Atari, I assume?
Yeah.
All right. So it's late afternoon by the time you arrive in Otari. Town looks, just as sleepy and peaceful as it always does. But as you know, there is a shadow lingering over the town. What are you gonna do?
Um, I think Ottardo doesn't really have anything planned. Unless the package he sent for is coming in today. I don't remember if it's today or tomorrow or afterwards.
Did we put it in the calendar and or take a note when you ordered it?
uh,
Doesn't look like it.
well, we had 1 day of downtime, and I'm assuming that was. Well, Ottardo has had 1 day of downtime that he's tracking for a separate thing. So I'm assuming it's the same. He put in the order at the same day, which was the
And
last time that we came back and sold a lot of stuff. And
okay, that probably was 2 days ago. And I believe you paid for the expedited shipping.
Yep.
Which means that indeed, yep, by the end of the day, you would expect it to be delivered to Galentine Deliveries.
Okay. Do you know if he would be getting the actual item or just the schematics for it?
Well, what did you order?
I think Ottardo wanted to get whatever he can get his hands on. He wanted shield adjustments.
Right.
If he could get it, if he could get the item, then great. If he can't get the item but can get schematics for it and he would make it himself, then that's fine too.
Is it a rare or uncommon or anything like that?
It is uncommon.
It is uncommon. Okay. Um. Yeah, but I mean, it is ordered from Absalom, which makes things a lot more likely to be available. So I'm okay if you just get the actual items delivered to you.
Okay. Let me double check because you had given me the cost. 1 gold for expedited. Okay. Well, he'll mark down 1 gold from his pouch.
I think we should scrape one of the striking runes for Augrael's bow. I think he still has on a normal one, and we found a striking longbow which nobody could use.
Yes.
Well, I think Augrael had that already transferred to his short bow and then handed it to the drow.
Oh
And
yeah, he gave it to that drow that ran away.
And the drow ran away.
We have to have a conversation with Augrael about handing out our stuff.
Even gave him the good one, not just the +1 short bow, but
Yes, he gave him the actually really valuable one. Right.
And the drow did not drop it before running off.
nope.
Nope.
I mean, it is a drow, of course.
Well, should we scry on the bow to see where he's gone to so we can retrieve it?
I think we should.
Seems like a reasonable use of our time.
Well,
Uh,
if it lets us know what's lurking further down, that's a good thing.
I don't even know where you go for scrying services in Otari. I'm not even sure that anyone offers them.
It's pretty
Uh,
expensive.
Yes,
so
I'm
what
no
is
scryer.
scrying is what kind of rank? Rank 6. Yeah, I don't think you will find that in Otari. You'd probably
Uh,
have to travel to Absalom for that.
have a good scryer in town. What kind of place is this? Well, might as well at least check in at the Crook's Nook and see how Shadow Malice is settling in.
Yeah, someone dreads to returning to Crooksnook after this. We shall invent an excuse not to go at the moment.
When we came back, like the town didn't seem to be disturbed or anything, right?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
It's gonna be fine. Yeah, Ottardo will accompany Lucca to see how things are going.
Going where?
Crooksnook? Yeah.
To the Crook's
Crook's
The
Nook.
Crooks. Okay. Um. Okay. So you've spent several hours in the vaults. Okay, so I say as you get to the Crooksnook, um, from the outside, you already hear the loud and um, almost violent sounding music that is clearly Shadow Malice playing their greatest hits. You can hear Ryda's voice in Sackroth yelling about eating the pink skins and tear them limb from limb. And but it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on in the Crooksnook itself. And you like open the door ready for anything, and you see that a couple of patrons are just like completely like, dumbfoundedly staring at the stage and I'm wondering what's going on there. Ryder is up on the stage, is currently like smashing a bottle of glass over her head, and it's like doing a one person or one rat person mosh pit up there. Everybody starts like the drummer starts to just smash their drums, and it's like imagine seeing the Sex Pistols in their first show in a London pub, and nobody's understanding like what this is supposed to be and why are they so loud and angry. And but Yinya Spera at the bar is like a wide grin and like nodding along to the super fast and driving beats.
She loves it.
And yeah, as you enter, she makes eye contact with Lucca and like screams over the noise that they're making on in the corner of the nook. And it's like, what a great sign! And you barely even understand what she's saying. And like only as you get to the bar, you can have like a yelled conversation. And she's like, where did you find these guys? They are awesome.
I found them in the abomination vaults. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable! That's incredible! That's like some Absalom level of stuff right there. That's you would have to go
Yes,
far for that.
they might be a little, a little ahead of the curve for this crowd, but I think it'll catch on.
And then after a few moments, then Ryda like erupts into this high pitched shriek, and then the music falls silent, and she just yells into the half empty room of completely silent patrons like, "Shut up! Thank you, Otari. You suck." And and then they just kind of calmly shuffle out of the corner, sweaty and smelly, and like come over to the bar. And Ryda looks at Lucca and just kind of like nods, and then looks at Ines Mera and says, So what you think, huh? How about that? Can we play like Saturday night? What do you or what is it? Sorry, not Saturday. Saturday night. What do you think? And Mara, it's just like, of course you can. I mean, sure you can. I'm not so sure if the town's ready for it, but I'll definitely I'll put you up there and but really like you guys would make it big in Absalom. And then Ryder's like, Absalom what?
Yeah, Absalom. It's a good, good goals. But for now, let's focus on Starday. All right. So let's see. We're gonna get some posters up. We're gonna spread the word. I have a feeling you guys will do great amongst the logging crew. All right. So we're gonna get some runners up to the logging camps and get them down for Starday. They will come in for the weekend anyway, and we're gonna get the right people listening too.
Oh yeah, Samara was like really impressed by Lucas. Like, yeah, no, that's a great idea. I'm sure they would really love that sound. Oh man, yeah, good thinking.
Who's the guy who runs the mill? The half-ork, former champion, whatever. I have a feeling he would go in for these guys.
Clorta, yeah, definitely. Clorta would love this.
Yeah, get the word to him, and then out to the other companies, and it's just a matter of time before you're a sensation.
And so plans are made to promote the next show of Shadow Malice. It is Moon Day, so there's a couple of days of time to do that. All right, Anthony, maybe you would find that fun, but you can look into because there are these various downtime activities where you can actually run a business or organization or something. If you want to add that layer to it, I'd be happy to do that. Otherwise, we can also just keep it light and don't worry too much about any sort of additional mechanics. But I think it's a good opportunity to introduce that if you want to.
I'd have to look into that, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Shadow Malice gets their promised hot meal out of their first little show. And what are you going to do? Any plans for the rest of the day?
I don't think Ottardo has anything in particular lined up. If he can get a day of downtime here or there, he'll gladly take them.
Well, like I said, it's late afternoon, so there's not a whole lot of hours left in the day to be productive. You could take like 4 hours probably, but not a full day. What's the rest going to do?
I think.
Um,
Yeah, I think Soma will, since she wants to spend the rest of her day in relative silence and quietude, so she will walk around the town gathering information at this time. I wanted to see if she can find something about this motley man in connection with a creature that collects hands. So she will probably go ask Corinne, maybe then she will go to the library, to Sunflower Library, to see if I forgot her name, help us with them.
Vandy?
Yes, Wendy Balderdash.
Bandersnatch.
Banderdash. I have it written down. I found my notes.
Banderdash, that's right. All right, so you want to ask around for that? Sure. Let's do a gather information. So I believe diplomacy.
Yes, Bart, I'm sure I have. Yes, I have trained diplomacy. As an expert. Be okay, alright. That would should be okay. Oh yeah, that would be.
Nice. Okay. Hang on. All right. You learn from several of the people that you talked to that apparently Doriana's condition has worsened recently, pretty rapidly actually. And you like it's the word has while before people were actually not really talking about that at all, and the Manhammans had kept that mostly within like friends and family. But now people are openly talking about that, about the poor child and her nightmares, and there's a couple of rumors going around that she's like sleepwalking at night and that they have to lock her into her room so that she doesn't go around hurting her siblings. She's also just kind of become completely erratic and very childish. Um, Even more so than she has before, I should say. And hang on. Okay. While others are reporting that if you heard that, then that's not actually what it's about. It's actually she's much worse than that. Barely even responding when talked to, and apparently has cut off her own hand. That's what people are saying, and yeah, those sort of like, but everyone is like, oh, the poor man has poor family. That's such a terrible thing to deal with.
Yeah, this is very disturbing.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I believe it's still 1d4 hours to do the gather information, so that is 3 hours, which basically gets us to the late stages of the day. Anything that anyone wants to do before I skip ahead to the next morning?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So, Foil Day arrives. What are you gonna do?
Well, first things first. Yes, I think Soma will raise the question of the mayor household to the party to like these rumors are incredibly disturbing. The girl seems to have those diet even worse. But maybe we should take it easy today and see what we could. Maybe we could try to help her again.
I mean, I really want to kill that thing,
No,
but I suppose it can wait.
Well, yeah, let us go and check.
So you head out to the manor first thing in the morning, basically.
Yeah.
All right. As you arrive, you knock on the door, and it takes quite some time before anyone responds. And to your surprise, it is not one of the many servants, but it's the master of the house himself, Osef Menhemes, the mayor. And he looks like he hasn't slept in days. He's barely even properly dressed, and unshaved, unready, like clearly not um in a state of disarray. And he opens the door and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, it's you. I'm afraid that Doriana will not be ready to. to have another tutoring session. It's very nice of you to stop by, but
Yeah, I think Soma just interrupts him for here for a moment, just with rather wide eyes and very concerned expression on her face, Master Minimus, we've been hearing horrible things. Just tell us what we can do, and we will help you. I mean, like almost anything.
and you can see him clench his jaw and he grinds his teeth as you mentioned the rumors in town. He said, "That's why I put most of our servants on leave. People run their mouths too easily. That's what our family is going through is not a matter of public discourse." And he just grumbles to himself a little bit before finally calming down a little bit, and he says, "Well, uh, I very much appreciate your willingness to help, and I know that you're quite capable. Um, why don't you come inside? I'll catch you up." And he walks you in and towards her room, and on your way there, he says, "Well, ever since you last saw my dear Doriana, things have gotten much worse, and she's she sleepwalks most of the time. She seems to be completely unaware of what is happening around her. It's almost as if she's just seeing everything as part of some hazy dream where she talks about the motley man showing her great adventures, fantastical lands of forests and palaces and snowfields that she points out and seems to see in front of her, but but she she doesn't respond to anything we say. And the the most horrible thing that happened is that it doesn't seem to just affect her mind anymore. Her right hand has completely withered. It's and we've had Wendy here. We asked if there's anything spiritual or mentally that spiritually or physically that could cause this, but she had no explanation either. It's and also nobody can help her.
Uh,
It's
yeah, did Mistress Wendy try to her divine magic, maybe restoration or some sort? She still has restoration, right? I mean, she's a cleric.
I believe she has the remastered version of it, but she did. She tried everything they could. I gave as much as I could to the Dawnflower and
Mhm.
asked for her miracles, but the clerics, they say they can't help her. It's
Have you considered chopping off her hand?
and he looks at you, Lucca, and he says, "That's a drastic or
Well, to stop the withering from spreading.
I'm afraid I have to admit that we have, but so far it doesn't seem to spread any further than her hand. So we've been hesitant to make such a drastic. We still holding out hope that we somehow might be able to restore her. I don't
Well,
know.
then have you considered chopping off her hand so that you can find a replacement?
Look, don't give him ideas, please.
He just opens
yeah.
his mouth a couple of times. I doesn't
No,
know how
never
to
mind.
respond.
Never mind. It was a silly notion.
Right now, the only idea that I have is to try sound body her because that's like the only thing I can do because, well, through our travels, I have mastered the powerful charms of sending good vibes through someone's body, which have great healing powers. Well, I mean, it's the only thing that we haven't tried yet, I think.
You know, there is perhaps something. although it is not in my immediate area of expertise, I have a tendency to deal more with, fire and contracts and uh, servants and things of that nature. But there is magic uh, in within my own magical domain that deals with dreams, I believe.
Mm.
Think.
And with that, you arrive at Doriana's bedroom door, and the mayor just kind of like shrugs and says, "At this point, whatever you can do to help, short of chopping off her hand," he adds hastily, uh, we welcome it." And
I
then he
wasn't
knocks,
saying it was a first resort.
and he says, Doriana, darling, your friends are here. We're coming in." And when he opens the door and he leads you inside, and there's Doriana sitting on her bed, and she's clutching with one arm. She's clutching a stuffed griffin that you had seen the first time around, and her other hand is kind of like hidden under half hidden under the blanket, um, and she has her head down, her hair hanging down. She's has this stringy, greasy hair. Hasn't obviously has not been able to take care of her hygiene for a while, and apparently, or the as the mayor explained, that she wasn't able to accept any help as well, and she doesn't seem to respond. She's mumbling something under her breath that's hard to hear from the door, just very quietly. Is clearly not directed at you. And the mayor says, "Well, here she is. I please try whatever you can."
Okay. So, Lucca, you try first or should I try first?
Well, I'm not sure that there's really. Whoa, what's happening?
Where?
It's getting
What's
very
going on?
dramatic all of a sudden.
Oh,
I feel like there's danger afoot.
I don't actually hear
that's
any music.
interesting. I
I,
Yeah, didn't kick in for me either, but that's okay.
right. I am not entirely sure what I can do to help. I was saying that there is some magic that allows one to reach into the dreams of an individual, and since this girl has been sleepwalking and such, her somnambulism, well, may be affected by such magic. But I'm not a purveyor of such arcana personally.
Well, maybe we
But
should. Maybe then you should go visit Moribund and see if he has something to help with that.
but let me tell you this: those of you who are trained in occultism, you know that if this is related to dreams, there might be a way to learn more by examining Doriana's psychic patterns while she is dreaming. So basically, you would have to wait until she falls asleep and then spend a few hours examining her psychic patterns using your occult knowledge and skill, and maybe there's something to be learned from that.
Ottardo also mentioned that we know that there's something about the hand that we've seen with the skulk. Maybe you can divine something from there if you examine it?
Perhaps. Uh, yes, I suppose. Um, I shall take a look at, I guess, the hand first, since she's awake, right? You said she was
She's,
awake.
yeah, but like in this, she has this 1,000-yard stare. Eyes are glazed over, but apparently she's conscious. She just
All
doesn't seem
right.
to be
Well,
aware.
the first thing I'm going to do is cast Read Aura upon her.
Okay.
So I gain my +2 bonus to identify magic if that is relevant.
All right, but the targets would be objects. So you wouldn't be able to
Oh, it's
target.
not an. It's she's not an object, so I guess it doesn't do anything. Is her hand an object?
Mm.
Oh,
No,
never mind. Never mind.
As long
Banish
as
the
it's
thought.
still attached, I don't think so.
Another another point for chopping it off.
always with the chopping.
Look, I replace parts all the time. It's very simple actually. I don't know why everyone makes such a fuss about it. Fine. We won't read aura on her still attached hand. Instead we will simply perform an occultism check or an arcana check.
Well, you would have to spend. I mean, is that regarding her, like examining her psychic patterns, or what is it to do?
Well, we'll start with her hand.
Oh, okay. I don't need to check for that, so I guess you just approach her and kind of like reach for her hand and try to get that out from under the blanket, or what is your approach here?
Lucca comes forward and he's like, "Give me your hand, girl."
And she doesn't respond at all. You can see her lips move very quietly, mumbling something, but you can't hear the words.
Lucca is like, "I'm going to lay hands on you for medical purposes only," and he's going to to take a hold of her hand.
All right, and I assume the one that is hidden right now. So you
Well,
gently,
yes, assuming that that's the one that's withered.
yeah. So you reach out for her hand, and then as soon as or as you are about to like pull away the blanket to get to it, all of a sudden she like snaps around, like you have your face right next to hers, and she screams at you and she yells, "No, I promised it to him!"
Mhm.
And she quickly pulls her arm behind her body. It's pretty clear for everyone to see. The hand is indeed completely withered, all the way up to the wrist, and even a little further. It's just looks desiccated, as if all the muscle mass has gone. It's like blackened and just weird looking, very much dead like a dead branch on a tree, kind of. And it flops around awkward as she brings her arm around, so she doesn't seem to have any control over the fingers anymore. And after she yells at you, she like breathes heavily a couple of times, like almost hissing at you, and then her eyes kind of roll over and she stares past you and starts mumbling again.
Can you tell us what did you promise?
What did you promise? Who are you talking to?
Like you or Doriana said, I promised him.
She promised it to him. Obviously,
Yes.
the hand.
Yes, but like Ottardo's trying to tell her to get to talk about that. What exactly was the promise? Why? Like,
All right. You can try a diplomacy check.
okay.
That is. She does not respond to you.
Hmm.
Doesn't answer your question, as if you aren't even there.
Well, forget about chopping it off. Looks like the thing would just snap if you held it too hard.
Let's see if we can see and fix it. Looks a lot like a curse, but it won't hurt to try. Someone will step forward, try to do some spell casting on her now. I will summon instrument as usual, but this time instead of the actual like guitar or flute or something, she conjures a tuning fork.
Mm-hmm.
And she waits for a moment when the girl is calms down a little bit, so she would like not freak out if she's touched. So she'll point. Well, she'll touch the end point of the tuning fork to the base of her skull and strike it. The tuning fork. Right. And now,
Okay.
just relax.
Ooh,
Okay.
well, that's better.
I will try to use the second rank spell for now to remove the enfeebled condition, which is defined as you're physically weakened within. And like if her hand is that much withered, maybe it will soften it back a little bit.
Yep, I think I get the idea. So as soon as you cast the spell, she starts screaming at the top of her lungs, and she like dives under the cover of the blankets, and just keeps screaming, and she screams, "No, no, 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 no!" And she's gonna try a will save against your spell, which I
I
believe
think
she
it's only on a willing creature, so
Yeah,
if she's not willing.
It's not
Oh,
willing,
it
it
is
will
willing. Okay.
work.
So she resists, and your spell does not come into effect.
Well, in that case, I suppose we'll have to try when she's asleep.
I feel like she would still qualify as unwilling.
Hmm.
To
I
to
mean-
me, if you have to cast a spell on someone while they're asleep, they're inherently not willing to receive the spell.
Only yes means yes.
Look, she's not responding well to anything. Maybe we let her zonk out for a bit, and then we just passively study her brain waves.
I mean, so at this point she will like turn to the other spot and whisper, like, I could try to charm her again. I mean, it worked somewhat okay last time. I mean, it at least pacified her. I'm not actually casting it yet. I'm just dropping it in the chat.
Gotcha.
She seems further gone from last time I was here. I mean, by all means, give it a go, but don't expect any miracles.
Okay, well, I mean, then let's try this. Like, Soma still has the tuning fork, and like it still rings a little bit, and now she swings it a little bit as a wand, making it this ring conjure a brief melody, like to ring through the air, and we'll cast charm person. This time I click to cast it, so it will spread the slot.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second, I'm still stupefied. Wait a second. What?
Okay. And you fail to cast the spell.
Maybe I should have cast sound body on myself first. Although it doesn't actually remove stupefied condition, so it would be useless.
So what are you gonna do?
difficult question. I think
Should I try to charm? Wait, so you didn't charm her, or you couldn't
didn't.
charm her?
I think I couldn't charm her because I think my spell slot is wasted now.
Oh, I mean, I could try to charm her if you
Well.
wish.
How how does an infernal skeleton charm people?
Well, with magic, obviously. Not with good looks.
Well, I mean, technically you can charm her, but she will be friendly to you, so it still would be resistant to Soma's spells.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yes, and all I can really do is cast harm, or floating flame, or whispers of the void. So
Rough skeletons, yeah.
perhaps that will not be the most efficient thing. Well, I'm willing to sit down and scan her brain.
I think,
Whenever.
yeah, I think it's a good idea. We'll have to, and I think by the time the night comes, I will no longer be stupefied either. So
Wonderful. That's good to hear. I wish it was so easy for all of us.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, child. Pay no attention to the lot of us, which she's already not doing. Just go to sleep while we hang around your bed.
We don't really have to hang around her that way. Like just stand visual next to her door and under her window.
How am I going to observe her brain patterns otherwise?
And the mayor at this point chimes in. He says, "Well, I think that sounds like a good idea, but I really don't. You really don't need to just linger here until she finally falls asleep. It's still early in the day, and I can certainly, if you tell me where you will be, I can send someone to let you know when she falls asleep.
Oh,
She
fine.
usually is in this state and until after nightfall. So it might be a few hours.
Right, I forgot it was morning.
Well, we can come back, with the sunset, if that sounds good to you.
We shall return with the coming of night.
It's an ominous way to put it, but okay.
As darkness falls upon the land, so too shall we fall upon your daughter's bedroom.
So he as he guides you outside, and then Lucca makes that announcement. He like stops for a second and looks at Soma.
Soma, if it's okay, she will like pat the mayor on the shoulder and says, "It's a figure of speech, I'm sure."
Okay. If you say so. And then he leads you outside and he thanks you again and then sees you out. There's a little bit of, has anyone played Monkey Island? That talking skull Murray?
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Like the former skeleton, but then in a battle lost its entire body and now is just a single skull, but still talks like a big pirate talk, so it's always like bringing down, and you shall feel the wrath of Murray like 1,000 suns burning down on you. It's like, it reminds me a little bit of Lucca here. All right. Yeah, like I said, it's still early in the morning. We're coming up on like 9 o'clock. What are you gonna do with the rest of the day?
Well, at the moment, I'm looking through the shopping list. I think, well, we still have time, and we decided to take it easier a little bit. Soma will see if she can stock up on those marvelous drinks that she developed a taste for. I think I will see if I can buy some mutagens from the
Oh yes, and sleeves of storing.
right. You want to buy some mutagens from the crow's casks? Is that what for
Yes, I
Megaloy?
think so.
Okay. Yep. What are you looking for?
I think one of them should be the this one another dose of this one Ichthyosis mutagen that almost saved her life.
Mm-hmm.
And I, I would need a little quick super mutagen, but the Juggernaut mutagen came very useful also, so get a bit of that one as well.
Okay. And
Juggernaut.
mutagens are just sold like potions. Is that right, or is there any difference?
I think in second edition they are.
Okay, it is just an elixir with a mutagen trait. Temporarily transmogrifies subject's body and also mutagen always conveys one or more mutagens of polymorph. So, but how about elixirs? Alchemical liquids that are used by drinking the item. Okay. So does that mean they're basically just alchemical potions in the sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then let's go with that. All right. So that Ichthyosis mutagen, Megaloy has brewed up something. Wait, that's an item 5. What do we have? Nope. Actually, that is not for
Rare?
sale at Megaloy. No, it is too high of a level.
Yeah, Juggernaut mutagen should do just fine then.
All right, Juggernaut mutagen. So what do we have?
If there's moderate version, it would be great.
Moderate is level 3. Okay, and what is the greater is probably level 5 at least. Oh wow, it's yeah. Yeah, the moderate Juggernaut mutagen is available. It's has a nice smell of grapefruit rind to it, but also like notes of licorice, which sounds like an adventurous combination. But Megaloy is very enthusiastic about it.
I mean, yeah, someone doesn't drink it for taste.
I hope you don't tell her that.
Yeah, well, of course not. Someone is always very diplomatic and definitely praise the brew and make a face of a great connoisseur. Our party stash allows me to buy at least 2 of them, so any more would be acceptable.
Okay, and don't forget the 10% discount, so it'll be 24 minus 2.4. 21.6.
21 gold coin and 6.
That's right.
And they are gone.
And Lucca wanted those sleeves of storage, which I think we had already established are available. Yes. So that would be 90 gold pieces, including the discount.
Oh, lovely. Who am I buying those from? Rin?
That's, let me see, that's not the market.
Or Libent?
And no, most likely indeed Rin, or potentially also Vandy.
Oh, well, it better not be Vandy.
Well, more likely Rin then.
He's like, Rin, I need the very latest in interdimensional garment technology.
She smiles and gives you that enigmatic look of hers, as if she already knows something that you don't know. And she says, well, this just came in with the latest delivery at Galentine's. And she shows you these sleeves that can be easily sewn to a gown and demonstrates how to use them.
Oh, convenient. Ironically, they have increased my bulk. Like, perfect.
Well, I think if you wear them, they shouldn't.
Let's see.
I
I
Worn.
think you just have to shove things into them.
There we go. Worn garment, and then I can shove all of my wands into them.
There you go. It's like flump, flump, flump.
Oh, look, there they go. They're all disappearing. Isn't that lovely? Oh, this is great. I can carry so many more now. Also, I think I needed to sell that wand of status since it is utterly useless for me.
Right. So that would be half price.
Perhaps I already did that? It's not in my inventory. Oh no, there it is.
Yeah, that's actually 80 gold pieces, so not bad.
How does one? Is there a way to sell it, or do I just? I'll just delete it.
I think I can just add the money and oh no, I can only sell trade goods. So if you just delete it, I'll add the what did I say, 80?
80. So it was basically just a trade. But that's fine. This is much more useful.
But I'm adding 80 gold pieces to your stash. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, this is great. I feel so much lighter.
Okay, so I guess like moving around town, doing some shopping. It's probably around lunchtime. What do you want to do with the afternoon?
Ottardo will let the others know that he'll be in his office. So he'll just spend the whole day meditating on his ways there.
Ooh. Let's see. Damarish, right? Damarick.
Yep. And by that I mean, in particular, that he's working on his retraining.
Gotcha. Yeah, but still, I mean, you're also like mentally checking in with yourself about those last couple of days. And you know, kind of going back to all the decisions you had to make on the spot. Trying to gain a sense of whether you're straying from your path or not, but you feel pretty good about them. You've managed to free some prisoners who clearly were wrongfully imprisoned just for the purpose of becoming food. You don't think that any of the sentient creatures you had to kill could be presumed innocent in any sense of the word. So yeah, you're feeling pretty good about how things are going.
All right.
And can spend well, how many hours do you want to or should we just kind of skip ahead to nightfall, or is there anything else that we want to do in the afternoon?
For Ottardo, we can skip ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Selma?
Yes, I think we'll just skip it.
Okay. So
Soma is too
Bye.
nervous to actually to be productive.
Mhm. So by the time it gets dark, you make your way over to the Manham's Manor once again, which is mostly dark. And you're ushered in once again by the mayor himself, who looks just as tired and restless as he did earlier today. And he walks you over and he once again says, I really appreciate you trying this. I don't know what it is that you were talking about, the brain waves or whatever. But I know that you are much more knowledgeable about these things than I believe anyone in town at this point. So please,
Yes. Stand back. I'm a man of science.
that's what scares me.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes sure that Soma is with you, but he lets you into the room like, shh, quiet. She's sleeping. And indeed, Doriana is lying on her bed, once again, like still clutching that teddy bear with her healthy hand, the other withered hand lying on top, and she has her eyes closed, but seems to be in a restless sleep. She's rolling around and keeps mumbling and muttering under her breath very quietly, as she's done before.
Also, in that case, let's Lucca make the check and we'll try to aid him, although normally with cooperative blade. Yeah, so Skeleton will stand over the girl's bed, and Soma with a drawn sword will stand beside him.
I thought no chopping.
That was a joke. I think.
All right. I mean, this is going to take a few hours, right? It's a careful study of the psychic patterns, needs multiple REM cycles, and you're settling in for what you would assume would take all night.
Oh yeah.
But that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. That's fine. All right. So I'm just going to go and skip ahead to 8 hours in. And hang on. And we can roll some checks. So here's a prompt for an occultism check. Lucca may try that. And then Soma can help.
Here we go.
And do it blindly if you can, or secretly. Okay. All right. So it takes, as I've said, it takes hours, and she goes through multiple cycles of like deep sleep, and then near consciousness, a slumber, and with every new cycle that happens, you seem to be picking up on more very subtle cues in those patterns. And eventually, as the morning dawns outside, you come to a conclusion, Lucca, which is that you're detecting a strong link between Doriana's mind and the dimension of dreams. And that link is not just, born from inherent psychic ability or potential, but you getting the sense that someone or something has strengthened this conduit. And you're, as the night progresses, you're kind of like looking deeper and deeper into that, and you're eventually you're realizing that the only creature you could think of that would have an interest and the ability to do this would be a denizen of Lang, which is a creature that lives in or a resident that is exists on a mysterious and alien place called the Plateau of Lang, which is a demi-plane of nightmares within the Dreamlands. It's a very obscure place. It's barely known to even the greatest scholars of the great beyond on Galarian, so it's remarkable, Lucca, that you would make that connection. But that is what you suspect is at play here, that a denizen of that nightmare realm has taken an interest in poor Doriana and is creating this, or is kind of like empowering this link. And you think that without destroying that creature, Doriana might eventually be drawn wholly into that dimension, becoming lost to this world, and that the withered hand is just a sign of what's to come. Unfortunately, that is all.
Yeah,
However,
Lucca.
sorry,
Oh.
before we go on, for that realization, you all gain 80 XP.
Well, there you go, silver linings.
Yeah.
No, Lucca is, of course, incredibly callous to the plight of this child. However, he is fascinated by this connection. Like, he was curious about it before, but now as he's been studying this, he's like,
I don't understand. Why this girl? She's insignificant. She's nothing. And why that skulk down below? Why have they been affected in this way? Why has this denizen uh, taken it upon itself to inflict these two? What interest does it have in them?
he'll kind of like explain the situation to the others.
And with those questions in mind, you might feel inclined to go back and try to learn more. But she wakes up and quickly, like as she opens her eyes and she sees you sort of maybe hovering over her or approaching her again, she like scrambles up and holds her withered hand and her stuffed griffin against her chest and acknowledges your presence for a change, but once again just starts screaming, um, and as loudly that it really hurts your ears until you back off a few steps, and then she finally calms down.
Can I counter performances?
Sure, you can do that, but it doesn't actually cause any hit point damage or anything like that. But it's just painful. But yeah, and as you step away from her, she finally calms down again, and she's like, her gaze trails off again, and she starts rocking back and forth, mumbling to herself.
Have you been walking in the dreamlands, child?
Try to approach her once again. You can try to make a. Whoops! Why is there no? Oh, let's see. There it is. Let me try a diplomacy roll. Oh, look at you. So you ask her if you've been trying walking the dreamlands, and she, uh, without making eye contact, but you see her face kind of like light up, and she has this big, somewhat terrifying smile on her face all of a sudden, and she says, "Yes, we've been walking these fantastical forests, palaces, fields of snow. The Modley man said that we would soon be together on our adventures forever. He asked for my hand, so I gave it to him. Soon, soon, all of that will. And then she just kind of starts trailing off again, incomprehensibly.
And your motley man, what does he promise to you? In
And,
exchange for something so dear as your hand.
and she says, adventure forever. Sights that no one else has seen. Wonder and miracles, magic, marvels. And she just keeps muttering like that.
Right. Well,
Lucca turns to the others, like, kind of shrugs, like,
don't know what else we can do right now.
Yeah, Souma is right now suffering from lack of sleep because, and on her face you can see like the mask of stress. Then when she realizes that we will have to go back into the abomination vaults, like and just to kill this hands enthusiast.
Maybe if Shadow Malice are still around, we could ask them if they've heard of other people suffering from the same thing.
That's a fair question.
That's true. We should see where they, if they are still in town, maybe, or maybe they're already out to Absalom.
they've already paid off for Absalom.
Yes. Let's go. And
They're still under contract to perform on Star Day, so
let's stop by. Let's stop by Cross Casks to get some coffee. We're gonna need it. Well, I'm gonna need it. You guys don't sleep.
well, I sort of meditate, or I go somewhere. I go away.
Yeah, I
Alright.
guess we can inquire with Shadow Malice if that has ever occurred to anyone they know of.
All right. And as you sounds like Soma wants to pick up some coffee at Magaloy's, and she has these nitro brews for you, which are like cold brew coffee infused with nitrogen gas, so that it has this like foamy head, kind of like a stout. And it's almost thick. That's how potent it is. So it definitely helps you shake off the tiredness for now.
Someone will gulp one without thinking.
Yeah, and as you're downing that or slurping the last bits of it, you're making your way to the Crook's Nook. Still early in the morning, so there's nothing going on here. You find Shadow Malice that have been put up in one of the rooms that the Crook's Nook is renting out, which are really just kind of like storage rooms essentially. You sleep on the floor, and Shadow Malice is just kind of lounging about there. They're all just splayed out. It reeks in there of all kinds of different alcohols and sweat, and snoring loudly. So you shake one of them awake. Who you want to talk to?
The Red Hulk, who is probably the most conversationalist of them.
Who?
The red person.
Oh, okay. So you wake up Rita, and she like comes to, and she's like, holds her head. She's like, oh man, oh, that stuff you drink up here is rough. Ooh, oh, and she like has to blink so many times. She's very much blinded by what little light falls into this tiny little room, and she goes, oh, it's you. Oh, what's up?
Someone will like squat next to her and like look into her face with like unblinking like bloodshot eyes, and she will ask, "Say there, do you by any chance have met any hands enthusiasts while you're down there?"
Hands enthusiast? What are you talking about? I mean, there's all sorts of weird people out down there, and they particularly like to like merge things together. I'm sure some of them are into hands.
Yeah, well, I mean, by this point we have found like a few people who got their hands cursed, and like maybe you have seen some of those like those.
And she seems very confused by what you're describing, and
And
says, "You know what? I really have no idea what you're talking about. Am I awake? Is this? Are you?
yes, Souma is not sure if anyone is awake anymore. So,
She holds her head again. She says, why are you coming here and wake me up to ask me about hand stuff?"
I think what my friend is trying to say is, do you know of anyone who may have had a strange obsession with chopping off their hands?
I,
Or anyone with a withered hand, perhaps?
withered hands. No, but that sounds like a good album title. I mean,
Well, you're not wrong.
so I have sorry if I can help you with that, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, it was a long shot.
can we actually describe what a citizen of Lang looks like, or we just know that it is a thing?
I mean, you would describe them as like, or Lucca would be able to describe them as that creatures that at first glance could almost pass for human. Like they have 2 arms, 2 legs, about 5.5 feet in height. But they have been described as having cloven hooves, and if their bodies were exposed under the usually multi-layered robes that they like to wear, then you would see that their skin is covered in horn-like protrusion. They have these alien mouths, which are comprised of tentacles and polyps that open in ways that human mouths do not. Um, but they usually wear like headscarves or things around, or like high collars to hide their mouth, so it might not be immediately obvious.
Yeah, so anyone like that?
And Ryda still like, "Oh, God, that sounds pretty damn cool. I don't, I know, haven't seen anyone like that."
Yes. What I with my understanding of Leng and whatnot, would I believe that Denizen might be on this plane to affect these people, or do I think it might be doing it from the Dreamlands?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I think either way, you would think that the um, sorry, hang on. Yeah, so it's they are really not bound by planar um boundaries, as they are like, it's not even clear what their home plane is, because they're found frequently, quote unquote, on the material plane or in the universe. So you would say it's probably a coin toss whether this one is on this plane or back on the plateau of Lang.
Will be much harder then.
Yes, if it's present, then we may be in luck. We may be able to apprehend it in order to understand its motives better. But it could very well be in the Dreamlands as well, in which case we would have a very hard time reaching it. I once heard of a group of adventurers conducting an extensive ritual which allowed them to transport themselves physically to the Dreamlands and do battle with various entities there, but I think they were higher level than us, so.
Yeah, and those guys had a kineticist with them, so they weren't in any danger at all.
Well, anyway, keep your eyes open for humanoid people with cloven hooves and polyp tentacle faces, yes?
Sure thing, boss. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, you too, yeah. No, I meant, yes, sure, everyone should do that. Let us know if one of those comes into the bar.
Will do.
Right. Anyway, get your sleep.
Yeah,
And,
can you pull that curtain close?
oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you. And shut the door on your way out. Thanks. And she rolls over.
Look, I think if such an entity were hiding out here in town, we would be, aware of it. I have a hard time imagining it would be able to pass amongst the citizens here for very long.
Well, look at this from this point. Augrael and Shadow Malice were able to pass among the citizens without causing a commotion, so do you think anyone would bat an eye at this thing here?
No, I mean, everyone is probably talking about Shadow Malice being in town at this point. Since you gathered information the day before, you would have heard like chatter in town about like, the fact that there's these new arrivals here. Otari is not like they're not immediately going to ostracize unusual creatures, but they're surely going to talk about them.
I think word would have spread if this thing had been spotted around here. So perhaps we're best off searching the vaults for them, considering we know of at least one other case of it occurring down there.
Although, yeah, that one was probably already back in the Shadowlands again. There may be relative safety for whatever those underworld can provide. If that creature is so prolific as to have many victims of his fans' enthusiasm, then we probably could find some other people who fell prey to him. But it seems like we'll have to go deeper.
What was that, Ottardo?
I just said, I guess we should go then.
Yes, we should. Have you had sufficient caffeine?
I think so, yeah.
Right, anyone aware of any rules around sleep deprivation? Not getting enough rest?
I don't think it kicks until.
I've only in first edition I've only ever seen that as part of adventures, and that they
Yeah,
would have special.
I don't think it was
Oh,
ever
there it is.
mentioned.
No, actually, here it is. So if a character goes more than 16 hours without going to sleep, they become fatigued. Taking long-term rest for faster recovery is part of downtime. Can't be done during exploration.
Is it reasonable to assume that since we knew we were going to be staying up for the thing, and we kind of fast forwarded through the previous day, that we would have rested through that day sufficiently to be awake for the night?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable to assume. Yeah, I mean, you did have quite some time. Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
Sam is not fatigued, but she will still be jittery, I think.
yeah, that makes sense. All right, so where do you want to go or start your journey of the Abomination Vaults?
Goes back to the tavern?
Let's not go into the tavern.
Why not?
Something tells me it will not just be empty like we left it.
So where do you want to go?
I think we should probably figure out what's in that one room that we haven't explored yet, on account of the horrible abomination that was guarding it.
Fine.
Okay.
Who kill horrible abomination?
All right. So you make your way into the vaults, teleporting on into level 5, and then going down one level, because if you were teleporting into level
Yeah,
6,
let's not take the teleporter that we have to go through the tavern for.
yeah. Okay. That's all right. Okay, so you make your way over and find yourself in front of the doors to the room with that horrible thing behind it.
By the way, is the tavern still empty?
Is it?
Oh, can we hear something from it?
You don't hear anything.
Okay.
Is what still active?
If the tavern is still empty, was the
Oh.
question.
Right. Well, someone before we go in, someone will of course prepare. She will prepare her instrument. We'll spend. We'll start. Battle music is.
Any idea what the shield icons we see?
That's the martial stance, Martial's aura.
And
Uh,
being drained from force.
that's odd because the marshal's aura is the purple. Oh, the purple thing. Oh, does it add the icon? The green shield.
The green shield is a drained condition.
No, there's the green
The
shield is the animation that comes with the effect of the Martial's aura. So if you move far away,
oh, okay.
yeah, I had to refresh the automated animations because a lot of the names had changed, and so we might see a few effects that you didn't see before.
All right then.
Okay. All right. So get ready. What you gonna do?
Can I scout to give us a +1 bonus to initiative?
I mean, feels a little. I mean, why not? You know what's coming. So if you want to change your exploration activity here, that's fine.
I'll be back in just 1 minute.
I also need to, for a moment, to. I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, I think
That gives me time to scout.
yes, exactly. And I think if you change your activation, activity, that might actually be reflected in the rolls for
Exploration. I don't actually have it on here because I don't ever really scout normally.
All right. You scout ahead and behind the group to watch danger moving at half speed. Okay, so there's an effect attached to it. So let's put that on there. Wait, but who should get that?
Oh, you actually have to drag it.
Start every creature in your party. Yeah, I think we need to put that on all of you. Oh, you got it already.
I'm back.
All right. Just wait for Curtis to return and then we can kick it off.
Kill this thing and hopefully find the denizen of Leng responsible conveniently in that chamber.
Mm-hmm. That is how that always works. Especially because they always make sure that you have plenty of opportunity to miss all the backstory and just accidentally kill someone to then learn after the fact. Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's called player agency.
Is that what it is?
You guys still having the full heat of summer up there, or is it starting to get a little more under control?
We actually had a little bit of a cold spell, which is exactly the week that we went to the Adirondacks for a few days. So we had like uh, rainy days and then a day or two in the 50s. And now we're back to high 70s, 80s. But it's the nice. In the morning, it's really chilly with fog. You can hardly see further than like 30 feet. And then it burns off by 9 a.m. and you have this really nice low humidity weather, which is very pleasant.
I'm back.
What's it like in Florida?
What do you think?
Snow, all skiing out there.
It's recently gotten a little bit more bearable, but it's been incredibly hot and humid for weeks and weeks and weeks. So it's finally, I feel like it's finally starting to break a touch, but it's probably going to come right back and probably won't really get a decent weather until like October. So
Yeah. There's still a lot of hurricanes around that might throw.
yeah, we got a long ways to go before we're out of hurricane season. So
Yeah. It's amazing the amount of humidity that we got and rain that we got for the last 2 years, pretty much 2 really, really wet years in a row.
mm-hmm.
And we have also had a lot of winds here, and we have this one really nice maple tree, not the very nice one that's right behind our house, but one that's a little bit to the side. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like every time we get strong winds, it loses another big branch. So it's really just falling apart right now,
Mm.
which is kind of
That's a
sad.
shame.
Yeah, this huge old tree just kind of slowly dying. Oh, Soma's back. Cardis.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Then let's go. Who wants to do the honors and kick in the door? Or how do you want to approach this?
Well, I guess Ottardo will reach for the door.
And open it up. All right. You, from what you can tell, as you look into the room, you see those anchored shackles and fetters that line the north and west walls, and bloodstains that obscure the stone floor. You see that set of double doors near the south that lead out of the room, and the 2 steep staircases that lead further below. But of course, what is most horrifying is that thing in the darkness that you can hear. You can hear its many uh, rows of teeth, um, click. You can hear this like smacking sound of its tentacle-like appendages flopping around on the floor, but you can't quite see it yet, I think, Ottardo, because it's
Not
still
yet, yes.
yeah, because it's still within the darkness. But those who can, I guess you all can't really see it quite yet. But you hear it, it's clearly there. So it's time to roll your initiatives. And there we are. So we'll start, excuse me, with Soma.
Well, as I said, we starting right up with the battle music. So here we go. Let's put light on everyone. We remove the spell from the bar. So we can have 4 lights at once. There we go.
Okay.
I have my own light source, thank you.
Yeah, and so that was inspired defense, and then I think we'll, like I see it, so I probably could try to. No, I can't reach it just yet. Ooh. Someone will then move forward.
All right. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Okay. Ottardo first is going to try to enter his, or enhance his stance, I should say, and he will fail to do that. And then with his remaining action, he will move in front of Soma, raise his shield, and that'll be the end of his turn.
Okay. And now with the light falling into the room and you starting to move up, that thing becomes fully aware of your presence at last and is going to act. So let's see. It's still as horrifying as you remember it. Its sheer appearance is just giving you the shivers. But then it opens its mouth, and then inside its mouth, it opens another mouth, and then all of those start reaming.
Yeah, someone will try to counterspell that or counterperform it by wrapping the strings on her instrument even louder.
All right.
Just
Performance.
So you know, Simon, it's got status effects on it, which might be affecting its like DCs and stuff right now.
Yep,
so.
but those are actually correct.
They are? They're not from when I cast a spell on it forever ago?
Let me see if it is. Hang on.
Wait, it says 10-foot emanation. Is it emanates from the creature or it targets us with like burst?
Hold on. It's not always. They sometimes they forget to carry over some important information from the people.
I think emanation is from the sides of the creature's space.
Yeah.
What's the room here that we're in? Okay. Yeah. So the flat-footed condition shouldn't have been there, but the other one does remain. All right, so then it's its turn. It will move close enough for the emanation to capture the two of you that came into the room. Which I think would be then this close actually. 10-foot emanation. And that was, well, sorry, I have to double check here. So that was one action, and then the scream is 2 more actions. So as I said, you see these multiple mouths open up and then just scream. Your performance protects you and your eligible performance check for a type you know. Auditory performance if the trigger was auditory. Okay, so let's see it. Let's see the performance roll. 24. You can use this instead of the saving throw. Okay, so here's the save. And I'll let you choose if you want to roll it or if you want to go with the 24. Or do you get to roll? Oh, yeah, no, you get to roll your save and then decide if you want to use which one is higher.
Okay. Well, Ottardo is taking that.
All right.
Yeah, Soma also will take that.
Okay, that's smart, but that means that you both failed, regular failed. So you are stupefied, 1.
I just stopped being stupefied.
And that was its turn, Lucca.
Okay. And is it supposed to be injured already?
Yes, it has not been able to heal itself. Has no way to do
Okay.
that.
Cool. In that case, Lucca is like, "Oh, excellent." He steps forward a little bit, and he is going to. He's not messing around with this thing in the least. He's just going right in. He just drops that on it, and it needs to make a fortitude save.
There we are. Okay, 42 save.
Ugh.
Succeeds. So it just takes the 2d8 persistent void damage. And you see it like flail its tentacles around, lashing out at unseen voices. Like
All right.
flies.
He's like,
Yes, let the whispers of nothingness take you from this realm.
Soma, your turn.
Okay, so I would try to cast spell defense again, but first I want to check if I can do this again.
All right.
Wearing defense, everyone, and this time creature is close enough, so another check. Yes, I will try to telekinetically projectile it. Also for joining. There we go.
You hit it successfully, but not critically. Do 15 points of damage to it, which it appears to be taking.
that doesn't trigger it, does it?
Hang on. So that has to have the manipulate action. Yes, you're right, because it has an attack of opportunity. So it gets to target. It gets to target with the tentacle.
I don't know if I'm within its reach, but I also would have triggered it as well.
You did. So I guess then that actually makes you the target when you did that because it only has one reaction. So it lashes out with a 31 to hit, and that means 22 points of damage. And
Ottardo will react here and grant 9 points of resistance against the damage.
okay, I will also need a save from Lucca.
Alright.
And then I need to make a will save.
Yep.
That's to keep the spell, right?
No.
Oh no, that's from its thing, whatever it is.
Yep. Okay, that's a success. So you're good. So you are temporarily, just so you remember, you're now temporarily immune against this particular effect that comes with the tentacle.
Okay.
All right, I think Ottardo already tried to strike back at the creature as part of his activity, of his reaction, but
Yeah.
that's done. Okay, and now snapping back to Soma, it doesn't have a reaction left when you cast your spell, so that is all fine. I believe that was your turn, Soma?
Yes, that will be all.
Okay, Ottardo.
Ottardo is going to try something here. He yeah, thanks to his new contraptions on his shield, he is going to use one of those little hooks he installed to try and grab one of the foot tentacles thingies
Mm-hmm.
and try to trip it.
Okay. All right. That looks like it would make it a success. Is there anything? Like it would specifically say immune to trip attempts if it was, right?
I think so, yeah.
There's no like anything inherent to certain traits or whatever.
And,
No,
and
it
it
looks
is only one size larger, so that does work for trip. It's only two sizes
okay.
and up that is not working.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So indeed, you managed to somehow hook your shield into multiple of its leg appendages, and you just rip them out from underneath it, and it falls to the floor.
And
No.
well, once it's on the floor, he will follow up and try to bash it while it's down.
All right. Successfully striking it for 13 points of damage. Nice work.
And for his last action, he will raise his shield.
All right. Okay, then it is the creature's turn. It'll like awkwardly clamber back up to on its quote unquote feet to its full height as action 1, and then with action 2 and 3, it'll just start like flailing all of its tentacles around while still yelling. It's not an actual auditory effect, but it's still gonna moan and and a high-pitched screech, and it'll attack each one of you in sequence with a different tentacle. So we'll go with Ottardo first. That's a 35, which is a hit. So that is 21 points of damage, and now we'll make it that will save from you.
Did you maybe not take off the prone?
I did not, indeed. Thank you.
Okay, that is 21. He will eat the damage, I suppose, and then the will save.
No!
Yeah, 0 point.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you dare!
All right, a regular failure at least. You are overcome with, these corrupted images of a ruined life. I would say that it's probably manifests as kind of the mirror opposite of the thoughts that you had when you were just meditating the other day about all of your righteous decisions and not trailing from the path, and now you're overcome with these like, oh no, this is all wrong. You completely fooled yourself, and you're just stunned by that revelation, stunned too. Then we have another tentacle strike for Soma, which is a regular hit. Does 23 points of damage.
I think I will. I think I will try to use my shield also to block it or mitigate it somehow.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see if stunned. I think it doesn't block reactions. So Ottardo will use his reaction following that,
Mm-hmm.
which will grant Soma 9 points of resistance, and he'll try to bash the creature.
Successfully strike it for 15. Okay, so
Okay.
there's 14 points left, and you can block it if you want.
Let's use shield block then. Oh wait, I can't block it. Sorry, never mind. I didn't recast shield on my previous one. So
Okay, so so then you just take the 14 points of damage and the will
Yes.
save. All right. So you two are now immune against that particular effect. What?
sorry,
And then we have a 27 to strike Lucca, which does. Where is it? Oh, also 27 points of damage. But no more will save for you. So, nope, and then it's Lucas.
I am
Go.
standing too close.
First, we're getting 9 points of void damage here from the persistent. Let's see a recovery check. It succeeds.
Of course,
Then
it
it's Lucas' turn.
succeeds. Lucca's gonna step back.
Nice.
I stepped too close before.
He's going to. I don't actually know if I'm out of its reach or not, but he's gonna assume he is. And this thing has obnoxiously shrugged off his spell, so he's going to try another one. He's going to throw out some classic floating flame,
And it just
which barely hits him.
you are still within its tentacle reach, and it critically hits you
Wow.
for 34 points of damage.
Right. Well, then we'll be collapsing on the ground. He gets smashed to pieces. And
Reducing this to 17.
takes 17.
Still very bad.
Well, I guess in that case he is just going to stand up with his second action. Well, no, does he have no more actions? I guess he has no more actions. Does he cast the spell or not? I don't know how that works.
Didn't we just have that last time?
I think a crit on reactive strike does something. It disrupts, I think. Reactive strike. There it is. Doo-doo-doo-doo. If your attack is a critical hit and the trigger was a manipulate action, you disrupt the action.
There it is.
And
So
disrupt what it means.
and also since you collapsed, and as in your collapsed form, you
Yeah.
cannot do any actions. So I think that it would be disrupted either way.
So my question is the spell slot? I guess the spell slot is gone.
Spell slot is
it-
gone. Doesn't
Okay.
doesn't take effect.
Right, that was a third level floating flame, so that is Gown.
And I guess if it
And
hadn't been a
that's it.
critical hit, it would have come into effect. But since it was a critical hit, it doesn't matter. All right, so there you are, Soma.
okay, so well, Soma's like sees. Oh my, oh my God! They killed Lucca! You bastard! Like, wait for it, Lucca. I will help you. Like her, arise! Well, yeah, I'm not actually going to place this burst on Lucca. But
All right. So what happens?
well, So, Souma, in her sleep-deprived days, tries to remember how to fix skeletons, and, well, oh, he succeeded. Great.
But it's a basic save, so it's still some damage.
Yeah, so she remembers that some skeletons can be roused. So, well, she now gets this. This thing gets an attack of opportunity, you know?
It doesn't have one anymore. It doesn't, because it already used it on Lucca.
No, you're welcome, Souma.
Says Lucca's skull over on the
Oh, on the
ground.
floor.
Yeah, and for that we'll have to inspire defense again.
And that's your turn?
Yes.
Ottardo.
Ottardo lost
Ah, wait,
two
sorry.
actions.
I forgot what checks.
Made it.
Squeaked by.
Made it.
So Ottardo lost 2 actions.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will gamble and not raise his shield this round and just try to bash the creature and miss it. And that's his only action for the round.
Okay, let me double check that the stunned is really just for 1 round. Yeah, there's no specific other condition. Okay, good. So then it's the thing's turn again, and it will, yeah, it'll just kind of flail with its tentacles, and we'll let them all rain down onto Ottardo. 33 to hit for 22 points of damage.
Oof.
Followed up by a miss, and then
No.
a critical hit for 42 points of damage. But luckily for you, it doesn't have the action left to do a rend. And then it's Lucca's turn.
Well, Lucca is in a pickle because literally the only thing he can do from here is stand, and that is going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
I mean, you can. Oh, right. It does say that you are only allowed to
It's
stand up.
it's the collapse ability.
Yeah.
Lucca is just gonna continue to lie on the ground there, and he's like, "One of you had best draw it off." Just the jaw working. It's like slightly askew from the rest of his skull. That's his. I guess he's delaying.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I think at this point someone will probably eat the opportunity attack in one way or another. So for one action she sustains skeletons, so that will be another reflex save from this one, please.
Okay. Let me see where it's. There it is. I'm gonna pop it out for later. Somehow there it is. And then make a save. Critically succeed, so no damage.
Okay. Yeah. For the second action, basically projectile it again. Both. About time to just power in the damage.
And that's
Maybe I think I will try to hero point this one. Maybe work.
okay. That's a hit. Ooh, yeah, that definitely worth it. Good amount of damage.
That
The
was
creature
great.
is in terrible shape, very, very bloodied and bruised, and it's Ottardo's turn.
Well, can I jump in? Or oh wait, no, it didn't take the attack, did it?
Nope. Oh wait,
Waiting for you.
oh no
It's waiting for me.
no, it's not that strategic. It's just gonna. I just forgot that it has the manipulate action, so it's just gonna lash out and damage you for 14 points. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Well, I will jump in once the opportunity attack has been used, if possible.
Okay, so that makes it Lucca's turn then.
All right, I will stand. And really, what I should do is step away. But I really want this thing dead. So we're gonna use another Whispers of the Void.
Die,
Okay.
you abomination! Stop
Vertically succeed.
succeeding everything! Damn it! That's bad. That's real bad. Well, and I'm still stuck standing here, so okay, Ottardo, now you can finish it.
Soften it up for
Um,
you.
not sure Ottardo can. But he will target it with one strike.
That's a hit. That's 14 points of damage, and still has fight in it.
Oof. Well, Ottardo has to keep himself alive. So with one action, he is going to heal himself up.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing how hard this thing hits, he is going to raise his shield for his last action.
All right, and then it's the creature's turn, and it slithers up here, takes a step, and then unleashes another storm of tentacles. So Ottardo sees the first tentacle strike hitting him for 18 points of damage, which could have been much worse, I guess. And then Souma takes the second attack for 19 points of damage.
And Ottardo will use his reaction here for 9 resistance and a strike. Miss.
God.
And it misses Lucca, but way too close for comfort. That was its 3 actions. Souma.
Oh yeah. Sustaining the skeletons. So, reflex, please.
Yep. Succeeds, so only half damage. I'll roll the damage here because I have it open.
Huh?
Takes
That's
3 points.
enough!
It's not quite. Two actions left.
Yeah. That's two actions, and well, one of them will be eating the opportunity attack again, I guess. I think.
You don't have to.
No, I can't. I was thinking about just going in with a sword, but it will be just moving and drawing a sword, so it will take all my actions.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, fine. Let's just try to telekinetically strike it again. So let's check, and I can't do it. Never mind.
Alright. That might be better for you. And interesting question though, does that, because you lose the spell, so you do actually take the action because it's disrupted, so you do actually take the action, which means it would trigger the reactive strike. So you get the tentacle critically hitting for 40 points of damage.
Which spell was it?
He was trying to cast a telekinetic projectile.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was a
So-
composition spell.
Alright, so you go down, dying to, brought low by the critical hit of the creature, and then it is you move just before its initiative, and then it's Lucca's turn.
Lucca will take a step back.
Just stay there, Ottardo!
And God, it just needs to die. It just needs to die.
It's very
Well, then kill it.
I'm trying. Does it look like I'm trying? God. I'm gonna use my third, fourth level spell to try and hit this damn thing again. The stupid, floating flame. God. I mean, it's nailing these fortitude saves. It's also doing pretty good at the reflex. I'm gonna try a third level floating flame on it. We'll see if that can take it out.
All right. There it is. It's a
Ah!
failure by
Um,
1.
so it is going to be just 13 points of damage. Miserable roll.
But it only has 11 hit points left. So as it burns up, you hear this like popping and crackling sound. And on top of that, another one of those screams. But thankfully, it doesn't get rise to the level that it would actually become a dangerous effect for you. So everyone gains 80 XP. And then can we can keep stay in initiative for now because Soma's still down. So Ottardo, your turn.
Yes. Okay, give me 1 second here. Where is the medicine skill? Okay. So Ottardo does have healer's tools. But it is not worn. So he's going to drop his weapon as a free action.
Okay.
And then with one action, he pulls out the healer's tool. Ah, damn. And then next round, he'll be able to administer first aid to Soma.
Wait a second. I think dropping is a free action, drawing the tools one action, administering two action first aid, right? I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, I counted the free action. Yeah. Yep. So he can attempt first aid. Well, I'll just roll medicine and then we'll see.
There is a macro for it.
Uh,
I'll put that in there. Oh, yep. Soma already put it in there.
okay. All right. I will target Soma. And let's see. Compared to the.
Yep, should be DC 17, so that's a success. Right, so
Success.
Soma
The target
no longer
loses the
dying.
die. Okay.
Yep, completely loses the dying condition. Completely loses it, yep, and is still unconscious, but wounded 1. Yep, that's right. And still stupefied and drained.
All the bad things.
Yes, all right. So I guess I can lift initiative now. Can end the encounter. Okay, so yeah, Soma still unconscious, but at least back from the brink of dying.
Oh.
Ottardo actually has a healing potion lesser that he can administer to Soma.
All right.
Okay. gonna say I could use. I was gonna ask if you were gonna do hand things to her, or if I could use a wand, but potion's fine if that's how you want to handle it.
Uh, well, I'd rather we not tarry here. I don't think there's any really safe spot for us to carry
Fine,
her
then let
and
me just save your potion. That's what these sleeves are for.
okay.
He will pull out a wand of he'll use the level 2 wand because she's in a state.
Mhm.
We'll do the 2 action heal on her. Wow, but it's a level 2 wand.
It says level 1 spell.
Yeah, that is not correct.
Oh, well, you can just add a plus
Another
8.
Yep.
Alright.
2
the
action.
extra
one.
healing. So I roll an extra d8 and you add 8.
The amount of healing
think.
damage and extra healing for the.
I think
I
that's
think
right.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
it's the
guess
2
you could
action.
just roll it again. Yeah.
So you also get an additional 5 plus 8 for an additional 13. So 26 altogether.
So, like, when hit with a beam, Soma rises like from her slumber and like no, I'm not sleeping. What did I miss?
Very. The creature is dead.
Good. Oh. And like she plumps back down on the floor. Oh my god, Sir Ottardo, you look bad.
Well, we all look bad.
Yeah.
Thing is terrible, truly terrible. If we encounter another one of those, we must really be sure to stay out of its tentacle reach. I don't know how we keep messing that up. Right. Well, I'm feeling fine now that I have expended my most powerful healing on myself. I have another wand if somebody would like it for a quick top off.
Well, uh, I think I'll try to battle medicine first. I think,
Oh,
Or-
fair enough.
or just
I thought we-
treat wounds maybe if we have 10 minutes.
Uh, if,
Do we hear anything coming from the stairs?
No, they're deathly silent.
Well, I guess we can take time to sit down and patch ourselves up.
For Sir Ottardo,
So you're taking 10 minutes, is what you're saying?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this for Soma herself. That should take care of the wounded.
While they are tending to wounds, Lucca is going to cast Detect Magic and have a search around the room.
Okay.
During those 20 minutes, Ottardo will be refocusing and laying hands on himself.
Okay. All right. Lucca, you use detect magic and nothing registers, which is kind of disappointing. So you I would assume that you having nothing to do for those 10 minutes, you mope and kind of like walk around the room, like listlessly poking at some of the chains. And as you do so, you can roll a perception check that we're going to roll into that activity.
Oh, sorry,
And
not secret.
that's all right. Yeah, and as you're like prodding at a chunk of dried viscera, you find a solitary round key sitting
Oh,
among the debris. He has a round shaft tipped with several teeth of varying length.
this is. Look at this. It's another key. I don't think we have a round one yet, do we?
Not on my memories.
Yes, Suma, this is for you. Add it to your key collection.
Right. Put it in the bag. Put other key on the ring.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm about ready to head back to town.
What? We just started. I mean, come on. I'm just
No,
waking
no,
up.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see what else we have. But I will warn you that much of my most potent magic has already been used.
Uh, maybe we can take 10 more minutes just to be back to full, at least for Ottardo, and then we can proceed.
Don't mind.
Such a prima donna. Very well.
All right.
And with 10 minutes, Ottardo will regain his last focus point, and he will keep that in store.
Okay. Let's check that. Open those doors and find a corridor that stretches for quite some time, and it's gently sloping down. By the end of the hallway, you're about 10 feet below the level that you're at right now. And your footsteps echo through the hallway as you make your way south. You're welcome to just kind of skip ahead down south. You'll see that it turns a corner, but there's another set of double doors that go that way, and then there's another set of double doors to the south.
Hmm. Well,
You open the door and peek through it, and you see that giant arena floor stretching out in front of you, dried blood from past combats forming a crust over the sand that spreads over this large space. There are torches illuminating the floor in bright light, but they hardly reach the walkway ringing the arena high above. You see those two staircases leading up to the walkway, but a metal portcullis blocking each one. And on the far side of the arena, you see that slumbering behemoth, like slowly kind of breathing, moving in the twilight.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but was the arena on this level or was it on the level below? This one, okay.
This level
This is
is
the
the
ground
arena
floor.
floor. Yeah, this is the arena floor, and the level above you is the walkway around that arena.
Oh, okay, okay.
Ah. How many times are we gonna keep stumbling into that arena?
Well, I guess we're definitely not in shape to face that thing.
No, especially not since Augrael decided to just go wander off and, I don't know, read a book somewhere. This looks interesting.
You open the door into a room that, yeah, as you might find interesting, the stone walls of the chamber glistening with blood.
Oh,
There's an iron maiden standing in one corner, and the other corner has a metal table bristling with nails. There's also a creature in here, and as you open the door, it seems somewhat surprised, and it turns towards you, and you see it's like a devilish face with long pointy horns, its many, many teeth, and these like barbs protruding from where a beard would be in a more human-like face. And it turns to the door as you approach, and it says in what is it called now? In diabolic. Ah, finally, some playthings. It has gotten pretty boring just being on endlessly on guard here. All right, my friends, strap them onto the table. And you don't see anyone else in the room. And that's where we're gonna end for the day.
okay.
Lucca cracks his knuckle bones. It's like,
Time for some contract renegotiations.
What are you trying to sign him to? All right, that's awesome.